Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on Porsha's Family Matters. So Londi stops by Lauren's house for them to talk about the messiness of the cookout. Londi brings up how Porsha's grandma kind of went off on Dennis and was calling him a playboy and how she was talking to Mama Gina. And they're like, oh, we do not need a repeat of what happened. What are we going to do about it? And I don't know. I didn't feel like Porsha's grandma did too much. I felt like she was just saying how she felt. I can understand why Mama Gina didn't like her calling her son a playboy, especially when Porsha, there's a lot of names that Mama Gina could call Porsha. So I didn't feel like it was that deep, but I guess everybody else feel differently. Baby, Londi gets in them confessionals and she starts shading Porsha's mama side of the family. And she was like, I don't want to call them country bumpkins. But she was calling them country bumpkins. Ooh, child. I wonder how Porsha gonna feel about that. Londi and Lauren devise a strategy on how to ensure Dennis going on this trip. So Porsha has an assistant named Lauren. Her sister Lauren contacts assistant Lauren and tells her, hey, we need you to do us a solid, distract Porsha while we sneak into the house to collect Dennis's things. This is the only way he's agreeing to going on this trip. And so the assistant's like, okay, no problem. And she does just that. Lauren and Londi, they ain't up to no good. They sneak into that house. They creep up the steps. They locate the Versace robe. They go down to the basement. They start looking for a Fendi jumpsuit. They go on a scavenger hunt for all of Dennis's belongings that he has requested that Porsha was like, nah. Lauren says in her confessional that it's weird that Porsha wants to hold on to Dennis's things, even though they're not going to be together. And she right. That is a little weird. But we all know that Porsha is not over Dennis. Like, we're not about to play no games. We already know what it is, okay? So it's a new morning and Porsha is in the kitchen making what she calls a traditional Nigerian breakfast. I don't know what that is, but we saw some plantain, we saw some bacon, and I think an omelet. Don't get me the line. I don't know what a Nigerian breakfast is, but I guess that's what Google told her because she said she learned it from Google. I will say, I ain't never seen plantains come in a pack. Where she buy that at? I'm like, Simon, you ain't introduced Porsha to none of your Nigerian friends, none of your other African friends. What was that? Porsha, you too bougie for me, girl. So while she's making the breakfast, she's talking to her mom and letting her mom know, like, hey, you know, Lauren wants to invite Simon and Dennis on this trip and Mama Gina. And Miss Diane is like, why Mama Gina? I don't know how I feel about her coming, but what? Simon shows up and she's like, I'm making you a Nigerian breakfast, babe. And he was like, are you kidding me? And he was like, so does it have a name? That's when she should have known that she had fucked up. And so she was like, this is what Google said a Nigerian breakfast was. So that's what I'm making. And he was like, okay. She's trying to butter him up to come on this trip and let him know that Dennis is also coming on this trip. And it's like, I don't think you really have to butter him up because he wanted to come on a trip. He wanted to be on this show. How he feel about Dennis coming on a trip. He said it was cool and he was proud of the steps that they were taking, but his face said something different. Miss Diane, she says, you know, I'm here for everybody going on the trip. I just don't know about Mama Gina. And Simon was like, you know, it's best that you guys don't close Mama Gina out of the trip. She'll just be left to her own thoughts and she will just assume things about what we're doing. Include her. It doesn't hurt to have her. I will say this. I may make fun of this show and laugh at Porsha and a lot of the stuff that they're doing, but the intention is really on point because a lot of people like to say, oh, you know, we're only connected. We only got a co-parent for 18 years and then everybody goes about their business. That's not true. You always wish for the best, but you just, you know, you make your plans and they say God last. You do not know when you bring someone into this world, you don't know what the next day is going to look like. So them trying to blend the family, I do commend them on that. Blending the families together, that's a really beautiful thing because you just never know. You never know where you're going to end up in life. You never know where your child is going to end up in life. Both of my parents have left me. And if it wasn't for them making sure that I had a strong connection to my aunts and uncles, I don't know where I would be. So I'm all here for the blended families, for the extended families, because you just don't know. You never know what's going to happen in life. You really don't. So kudos to Porsha and Dennis. I make jokes and everything like that, but they do have the right idea. And I'm glad that even though it's weird and it's awkward, I'm glad that they always try to invite Mama Gina. Because that's important. That is her grandmother. That little girl is going to need both sides of her family. She's going to need everyone. So don't let petty things keep that little girl from having her family. So Lauren and Londi, they ain't up to no good this episode, okay? So they roll up to Crew, Dennis's hookah lounge, and they're wearing his furs, and they go in there, and the plan is to bribe him to get him to Mexico for this retreat. He sees them, and he's like, y'all are a mess. He laughing at them, and he was like, okay, so y'all wearing my furs, what's good? Dennis reluctantly agrees to go on this trip, and they take a shot, and they go about their day. So Lauren is at home with her mom and her daughter, and she's telling little Bailey, like, hey, we're going on a trip and you get to come with me this time. And little Bailey is like, as long as we don't have to meditate and we can be on the beach. And she was like, well, we're going to meditate a couple of times. Little Bailey was like, not on my watch. She's telling her mom, I'm telling everybody we need to go on this trip to heal the family. But I might need this trip more than everybody else. And the mom was like, yeah, I think this trip is going to be really good for you. And Lauren is like, you think everybody's going to respect me as the healer? They're going to listen to me being in charge. And her mom was like, yeah, they are. Miss Lisa, I don't know. This bunch. I know this last episode that I think this is Lauren's moment, right? She's been in Porsha's shadow all this time, and now that they have this family show, I think Lauren is kind of like, yeah, this is my moment to kind of shine, to show the people who I am, to be a breakout star. And I don't know if she's gonna get the results that she's looking for, but you could tell she's putting she's investing a lot into this show and into this trip. She has high hopes for this retreat and using this to kind of propel her career as a healer, a spiritual healer. I just don't know that I don't know if it's gonna go her way though. So everybody's preparing for this trip, and Lauren had requested that everyone bring crystals. So Mama Gina and Dennis are at the store shopping for crystals. And while they're there, they get to talking. And they're making jokes and they're being real, whatever. And they're just like, yeah, this is different. This is not what we're used to. Dennis is like, yeah, it's kind of spooky. And yeah, that stuff is it's not for everybody, It's not for everyone. This is not his lane. They get to talking, and Mama Gina lets Dennis know, hey, I met up with Porsha the other day, and I kind of put her in her place. I let her know. And he's like, what you let her know? Well, I let her know that I had spoken to her mom, and her mom told me that, she was up to no good too. And so Dennis is like, wait, what? That's information that you should have told me. You've been sitting on this and you didn't share? And she was just like, well, and he was like, no. You were supposed to tell me this. And now it's starting to look like Mama Gina making stuff up. Because last episode, I believed her, and now I'm not so sure. I'm not too sure what happened. So the scenes are cutting back between Mama Gina and Dennis and Miss Diane and Porsha. And Porsha is also relaying the same information to Miss Diane. And Miss Diane is like, she's a lie. I never told her that. What is she talking about? And Porsha was like, I know you didn't tell her that. And meanwhile, Dennis is perked up. His ears just said, it went. So Porsha, she ain't innocent. He in his confessionals talking that talk. And I don't know. I don't know. Miss Diana says she did not say that. Now Mama Gina is starting to backpedal a little bit and saying, well, maybe I think I heard what she said. I think she might have. And it's just like either she told you this or she didn't tell you this. So now I don't know. I don't know who to believe at this point. Mama Gina is asking Dennis, like, you gonna come on this trip? They invited you too. I think you need to come. And then he was like, I don't know. Mama Gina makes the joke and she asks the lady in the store, like, hey, do you have any crystals that wards off fake people? And they were like, sure we do. And she shows her the stones and she grabs a handful. Dennis is like, who you getting them stones for? She was like, Porsha. She starts naming names. I don't remember who all she said, but I know she said Porsha's name. Mama Gina, are you putting on for the cameras? Or do you really don't like Porsha, girl? What was you gonna do if they got married? Cause you was trying to get them to get married before the baby came. Child, this is a mess. So it's the day of the trip and they have split into two. Porsha is with Simon and her auntie Darlene and her cousin Storm. And I don't remember who else. You have cousin Londi, Aunt Liz, Mama Gina, and I think the assistants and then the former assistant. I think that's how it was. I don't remember. Don't give me the line. They got two separate parties and Aunt Liz and Mama Gina, they seem to be hitting it. I told y'all I like Aunt Liz. Aunt Liz, I'm going to enjoy her, okay? Bring her back. We need her on our TV screens, okay? So she makes the joke and she was like, yeah, I like Mama Gina. I like Gina. She's cool. She's probably the closest to my age, the two of us. And then there's Simon. He's close to our age too. And she said that with a straight face. Of course, production puts up a picture, I think, of Aunt Liz. It says like 70, Mama Gina 60 something, and then Simon is in his 50s. They messy. They was so messy for that. She said that man, Simon, is the same age as her. How you 70 and Simon your age? But Simon might be lying on his age because we know how y'all do. Because the people had said some stuff about you, Simon. Simon, you might be closer to 70 than we realize. But anyway. So Londi calls Dennis from the car and she's like, are you still coming? What's going on? And he was like, giving her the runaround. But he eventually says, yeah, I'll be there. You got my gift, meaning his robe. And she was like, yeah. He gets to the airport at the last minute. He was like, look, either I was going to have to catch this flight or fly in later. I had to come. So everybody lands in Mexico and they take two different limos. While they're in the limo, Porsha is with Simon, her cousin, her aunt, and whoever else. And she was like, why on the plane? Dom tells me, I can't believe they got me holding your baby daddy's robe. Is Porsha's former assistant. I think he was friends with Lauren and Lauren introduced him and he started working for Porsha and it was a hot ass mess, but they all remain close friends. Dom is messy because if you don't want to hold it, just tell Londi, whoever gave it to you, tell him I'm not holding it. Why would you go tell Porsha? I can't believe, like, you messy. You messy. Why did you need to do that? That was messy. But anywho, Porsha is like telling the people in the car, her cousin Storm perks up, well, who did it? Who did it? It's only a number of people who could have done it. And I was just like, that was a weird reaction. I don't know. That was very strange to me. But we're going to find out later on in the episode why she had the reaction that she had. Porsha was upset. She was just like, who thinks that they can just come in my home and take something of mine for Dennis? Or go into my house at all and just take something. And I know Simon had to be feeling a little weird. Like, what the fuck? What is we really talking about? Are you serious? Now, I looked up the robe because I'm just like, okay, did they stop making these robes? They still selling them at Neiman's. So, I don't know. Like, what was... They not that expensive. They not that expensive. I mean, Simon can buy you a Versace robe, Porsha. You could buy yourself one. So I guess it's the principle about it. I guess it's because whatever weird situation Porsha and Dennis got going on, whatever games they playing, only they understand this. Because I do not. They're still selling them robes at Neiman's. They're quite affordable for both Dennis to purchase another robe or Simon can purchase a robe for Porsha if she liked it that much. I don't really know what's the problem. But anyways, Porsha little cousin Storm, she's sitting already. She's sitting waiting for whenever Porsha say go, she ready to go. So they get to the resort, everybody's excited, they going in, and they're met with drinks and the Mayan dancers, and they were doing this, you know, welcoming dance. It was really beautiful, it was really nice. They were like cleansing everyone. And now it's time for Lauren to assign rooms. And Lauren, you tried it. You really tried it. Like I don't know if I'm gonna like Lauren by the end of this show. Cause I was all here for Lauren, but this right here, I ain't like that. I ain't like what Lauren did. Lauren assigns rooms and she gives a suite to Porsha and Simon, and it's like a 2-bedroom suite. And she was like, yeah, you, Simon, and Pilar can stay in that room. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. I ain't too much like that. I just feel like, this is like what, June, July time? You just met this man and you're sharing a suite with him and your 2-year-old daughter. I'm not accusing him of nothing, but that was a little, that wasn't right. Hey, Dennis and Londi, you're going to be sharing a suite with me. Dennis was like, huh? Why I gotta be sharing a suite with you? Oh, it's 3 bedrooms. You can share a suite with me. And it's like, we know what you're doing. And it was yucky. Like, why would you share a suite with your sisters? Like, you do some stuff like Lauren. And that's your sister and you got your sister's back. But you do too much. This was too much. So anyways, Dennis is like, I'm going to go get another room. I'm going to go get my own room. I'm not with this. And she was just like, why? You don't need to get another room. The whole hotel is sold out. And Dennis is like, She was like, well, come look at the room first. Just look at it. Londi's room is cute. Dennis is like, oh, hell no. This is not how I roll. I will be going to get another room. That's for sure. And so he was like, let me see what your room looking like. And her room is like upstairs. It's laid out. It's nice. She has her pool. Like, her room is everything. Her room. She was like, well, of course, I got the nice room. I planned the trip and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, Dennis has money. You really think you could play Dennis like that? Girl, bye. They go out to the pool, and Dennis was like, oh, you want to play? He picks Lauren up, and he throws her in the pool. And then he jumps in the pool. I don't think people were saying on Twitter that it was like Kenya and Apollo. I didn't think it was Kenya and Apollo. I didn't think that. It was very playful. I think Lauren and Dennis got to be really close. Like, they really did. And he really thinks of Lauren as his sister. And Mama Gina also was really very fond of Lauren. So I don't think it's nothing like, you know, that. But I do think Lauren has lost her damn mind, thinking that she could keep tabs on Dennis. She says in her confessional, Dennis is going to try to bring a date without telling her. And that's the only way she can keep tabs on him. I'm gonna need you to deprogram. You're not running nothing, Lauren. You have lost your mind. You have truly lost your mind. You can't control. If Dennis want to bring a girl or date, he want to mess around with all the locals, he can do that. He's a grown man and he's not with your sister. Your sister has a whole married fiance. Now, I'm not here for Dennis being like, look, Dennis can do what the hell he want to do. He's a single man at this point. He can do what he want. Who do you think you are that you could control? Girl, you tried it. That was, I don't know. She wasn't even laughing about it. Because if she was laughing about it like, oh, Dennis, you know, like, I didn't like, that was real manipulative. Like, girl, what? But anyways, soon as she steps away from the pool, Dennis calls one of his little chickadees and he was like, don't miss that flight tomorrow. He was like asking her, you know, did you pack something sexy in your bag? And the line was cutting off. But this about to be good. I'm glad he brought a date. Like, at first it was just like, he didn't really need to do that. But the way that they think that they can control Dennis is getting on my nerves. It's just a little obnoxious for me. It was a little annoying for me. Like, what was that? Like, Lauren, you look silly as hell. Like, what's wrong with you, girl? So back in the room, Porsha and Simon are talking, and he was like, well, this is a lot of family, but you didn't only bring family, you brought other people too. And she was like, who were the other people? She was like, Pilar's dad and Pilar's grandmother. Just the other day, you were sitting in the kitchen with Miss Diane and Porsha, and you were talking about, oh, how good they were doing being co-parents, and you were proud of the steps that they were taking to have a successful co-parenting relationship, and how Mama Gina should be included in what's going on so that she doesn't get the wrong idea. And now you're saying something different. This is the manipulation. This is the shadiness. Because not too long ago, one of Fallon's baby fathers was talking. He was on social media talking about how controlling Simon was and how he wouldn't let Fallon do anything. He had a lot to say about Simon, and I believe that, man. I don't think he ain't had no reason to lie. Just the other day, you were saying one thing, and now you're saying something else. Porsha, be careful, girl. So everybody is dressed up for dinner, and everybody's coming in. They look cute. It's the first dinner on the trip. Lauren brought along her spiritual healer, Lena. And so they're sitting at the dinner, and they're like, we're going to do a ritual. And they do a ritual with Florida water. So they put the Florida water in their hand. They clap 3 times. And then she said, you do something and she did something around her head. And so as everyone is doing, their thing with the Florida water that Lena is teaching them, Simon is standing back watching like he is amused. He's laughing at these people. He's sitting back like, and eventually they get him to join in and do it as well. But I know he was laughing at them like, what are they doing? What are they up to? Like, you could tell he ain't here with none of what Lena and Lauren is talking about. So Lena is asking everyone what are their intentions, and they're going around the room saying their intentions so that they can begin the meditation. But the energy is stank. The mood is just not right because everybody already feeling a way about something. Porsha states, you know what? I can't really tell y'all too much about what just happened because my energy is real smoky. I really don't, I can't, I got to get some things off my chest. And we know she's talking about that damn robe. And she was just like, I just heard that there was a robe. Dom was carrying around this robe. And the camera cuts to assistant Lauren. And she's just like, she's clutching her pearls like she don't know nothing about this robe. And it's like, girl, you were an accomplice to the plotation. I know you're not gonna sit up there and act like you don't know what they talking about. She gasped like, she said, y'all ain't about to bite my head off. And so Porsha is mad. She's yelling like Dom was carrying the robe around. And so Londi, she a real one. Londi jumps up and she was like, don't be mad at Dom. Don't be mad at him. And she was like, why not? And so Londi starts to explain, like, girl, the cookout the other day, that shit was awkward as hell. It was weird. We were just trying to make sure that never ever happens again. And Porsha's hollering and screaming, but who gives y'all the right to go in my house and take anything out of my house for Dennis? If Dennis don't want to be here to set up a healthy, strong, relationship for Pilar, then he don't need to be here. If he ain't got the right intention, he don't need to be here. And Londi is trying really hard to calm everything down. I can agree though with Porsha. Don't go in my house and take nothing out of my house. If me and my baby daddy are having this back and forth about something, the rest of you can stay out of it. But you tasked Lauren with the responsibility of making sure that Dennis makes it on this trip. So you can't be mad at how she goes about doing it. He didn't want to come. So if she had to bribe him with this robe, she had to bribe him with the robe. I do agree though, like, don't come in my house and take nothing and I don't know about it. I wouldn't like that either. But at the same time, this is kind of what you signed up for, Porsha. When you have other people doing your bidding, it goes down like this sometimes. You're going to have to get over it, sis. But she ain't ready to get over it now because they keep going back and forth. They arguing, and her cousin Storm is sitting on ready to attack anybody. She jumps in there, and Dennis was like, you be quiet. You be quiet. You ain't said nothing the last 2 years. You be quiet. You are not Porsha. Like, he's letting Lil Storm have it. So I was like, oh, we've never seen this side of Dennis, because Dennis usually, he's real chill. He usually don't have no words for nobody, but he don't like Cousin Storm. So it cuts to the confessional, and Dennis is like, I don't like Storm. I know her before I knew Porsha, and she was a problem. She worked at one of my, she was a hostess at my restaurant. She didn't work. Her work ethic was horrible. It was trash. I got rid of her. And then it cuts to Storm's confessional, and Storm is like, I couldn't work for Dennis because he was too flirty, and I let him know, you flirting with me and that's my cousin, you can't do that. We ain't never seen Dennis get mad at nobody. I don't think we have. Storm, I don't know about you. But it goes back to Dennis, and he's explaining how Storm lied on him and said he was trying to talk to her. And the truth came out that she was the one that was lying, and she ain't had nothing to say since then. I kind of believe it. I kind of believe, I don't know, I believe Dennis. I don't know, but I believe Dennis. I noticed that at the cookout, Storm spoke up and was like, oh, I've never seen Porsha have this connection with anybody. And it was just like, we knew that was a dig at Dennis. And now we know why she don't like him, and they have history. I don't really believe that. I'm not saying that Dennis wouldn't talk to her, but I don't think he would talk to her while he was talking to Porsha. Maybe before, I would have believed that. But while he was with Porsha, I don't think he was trying to talk to you, girl. I don't believe it. I'm not believing it. I feel like you seem to be one of them people who needs a moment. Because it was like, as soon as she opened her mouth, he was like, huh. And I just kind of feel like if Dennis was trying to talk to you, I don't feel like the rest of the family would be vibing with Dennis. That would have been one of the things that they called him out on at the cookout. They wouldn't still be one. Yeah, I wanted a moment. I think you want to be close to Porsha. You want to be on TV. I'm not buying what you. But anyways, everybody is going back and forth, and you could tell that there is an energy there. Lonnie, you could tell Lonnie don't too much care for Storm. Storm don't too much care for Lonnie. We now know why her and Dennis don't like each other, and everybody is just going back and forth. And Mama Gina was like, all this over a robe? What is the big deal about a robe? And Porsha is adamant that she does not like the fact that Dennis is there for the wrong reasons, but it's like, he told you he didn't want to go. And you wanted him to go. So if Lauren gets him to go by saying, hey, I'm going to give you back your property, that's what you wanted. Because if he said no, you should have accepted no. You don't not accept no and then get mad that he's there for the wrong reasons. He already told you he didn't want to go. Yeah, Porsha, you look crazy. Meanwhile, Lonnie and Storm are going back and forth. And Lonnie is like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Porsha was like, I told her. And she was like, she still don't know what you talk. She don't know what's going on here. And Storm is way down on the other side of the table screaming and yelling, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? She's standing up. What are you going to do? And it's like, girl, Storm, you looked at yourself and you looked at Lonnie and you want to fight her? Girl, if you don't sit your ass down, you look stupid. Girl, I don't think that's what you want. You need to stop. They going back and forth, and Dennis is like, welcome to the family, Simon. You see what you in store for? And then Porsha was like, it's your fault. Well, it's not Dennis's fault. But they keep going back and forth, and Lauren jumps up and she turns up on all of them because I think she's embarrassed because her spiritual healer is there. And so she was like, anybody says robe one more time, go home. That was the dumbest fight. It was entertaining for me. I ain't gonna lie. Aunt Liz is like, what kind of immature nonsense is this? I thought we was here to be healed and go up, and move forth in the upper power. Whatever she said something like that. I thought we were here to evolve. What is this ghetto childishness that you done brought my way? Aunt Liz ain't here for it. And I'm here for Aunt Liz, though. I'm here for Aunt Liz. I really like her. I'm trying to tell y'all, her and Dennis are the stars of the show. But anyways, it's a to be continued. So we gonna catch up. But now we have been hearing though, we have been already hearing that the whispers of Porsha's mama's side and her daddy's side of the families not getting along. I guess we're gonna find out next episode that there's probably something deeper there going on. But anyways, that's my sound off. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.